Welcome back. We are going into a very unusual segment called Crystal's Ball.
Get ready for the real estate show that takes you across the barriers and into the danger zone. That Bitchin Real Estate Podcast with your host, Tenacious T.
Oh, yeah. Hi. Again, we have the beautiful Haley Schuster, our Blue Line agent.
Hey.
We have our lingering co-host, the big BC, Brian Culhane.
What up?
And the lovely, the beautiful, mysterious, very hardworking wife, mother, and tarot card reading, Crystal Mulzet. Did I say that right?
Yes.
Okay.
That's
yes.
like mullet with a Z.
Got mullet with a Z. And it fits that Bitchin Real Estate Podcast. So I want to really understand that you read tarot cards. It's true. You have a talent, right?
Yes, I do. I don't share that talent with everyone
Well,
because
they
it can be taken the wrong way. I think that we're all born with gifts and in abilities to use our intuition in different ways.
Yep.
And for whatever reason, tarot cards were introduced to my life 12 years ago now. And I had a friend that read them, and I love that she read them for me. And you can't read for yourself because we're too emotionally involved and energetically involved in like the comings and goings of our own lives.
Yes.
So she bought me a deck for my birthday. So she had somebody to read for her. And through life's comings and goings, I, went through a difficult time and got really into meditation. And I learned the deck through pulling a couple of cards every morning and saw them aligning with my life.
Love it.
And, again, I'm limited on who I share the information with because it's actually really emotionally taxing when you put your energy out there. So, like, I've made the mistake of bringing cards to parties, and then, like, 15 people will line up, and I'm just depleted and exhausted because I want to give my all to, anytime I'm engaging.
Being the innovative and out there in your face podcast, we're going to predict the market for you with her talents. It's true, though. I really think people have a talent. And Brian, you've got the perfect story.
Yeah. So the last time I've had my cards read was probably 15 years ago. And I was struggling still, I think, in real estate school, collecting unemployment. Went to borrow some money from a neighbor, and she was a tarot card reader. And I was actually borrowing money to take Kristi out on our first date. So she finally agreed to go on a date with us. Well, anyways, I went in and I said, hey, can I borrow $20? And she said, yeah. And I said, oh, can you do my cards for me and tell me what the date's going to, how this is going to go? And she goes, the first card I flip over is going to be the card that defines your relationship. And as a matter of fact, instead of telling you what the card was, why don't I share it with you?
For those
and you
listening,
tell me what
he
you see.
has a picture of the original
it's a
card.
fortune card. And in some decks, that's actually called the Wheel of Fortune.
Okay. And what is physically happening on the card? It looks like it's a king and a queen flying on the back of a phoenix.
Yep, rising in a phoenix. It's usually
pretty awesome.
Shift in good fortune.
So he's just here from Chicago in the Phoenix Valley. Saw this super hot chick.
Broke.
And
she goes, you're going to be a king and
out.
queen in Phoenix. And I was like, all right, well, can I still borrow $20 though?
Yeah. And how cute is it that you still have that picture? And I think you have a picture from your date too, right? Yeah. No,
awesome.
you won the lottery with that girl.
Thank you.
She's amazing.
Thank you.
So, Haley, what do you think our market is doing right now, and what do you see it doing in the future?
Well, obviously it's a seller's market right now.
Maybe.
Yeah, that's what it feels like
Maybe.
on the buyer side when you're having to submit offer, come on, please. I'm guessing it's got to slow down, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Let's see what the cards read.
Brian, do you have any opinion on the market? And then I'll give you mine, and we'll have Crystal tell us what it's really going to do.
Yeah, I think Haley's probably right. I mean, I feel like prices have been sort of dripping upwards, and good time to get a house because it's probably just going to get more expensive as the rates go up.
Yeah. I really run on energy and vibration and what's going on around me. And I'm kind of a nerd when it comes to numbers. I love to study what the market is doing. And yeah, we have no inventory. And yes, the price points have been pushing. But I have a very strong feeling we're going to have rates dip even a little teeny tiny bit more. But after the first of the year, things are going to start changing. By this time next year, I'm predicting a healthy market. And by 2022, it's going to be, I think, a little bit of a dip. I think we're going to feel a dip. That's where I'm feeling it.
All right. Well,
All right, so Crystal,
Yeah.
let's do some
Well, I'm going to
Real-
give it to our real estate guy that believes in tarot. If you don't mind,
Yeah.
putting your energy
I'm
into
all
the
about
cards,
Yes,
shuffling them
yes.
until you feel like
Haley
you're
and I
done.
will push it
Yeah.
that way.
Yeah, put all the
We'll
real estate
go.
energy out
Yes,
there.
yes. Audience out there, can you feel the energy?
I've never done this, and I'm so excited because I've always been curious.
trying
Yeah,
to get some
I'll
noise
take
here.
orders later.
There will
I've just
be
never even
a
seen it
service
done.
fee.
Come on.
Wim Hof,
Right?
deep breath. Okay,
wanna cut
here
it?
we go.
Yes.
Cutting the cards. And I
All
think,
right.
do we need to be specific with a question?
Well, I think we asked already. Didn't
Yes,
we?
we
What the
did.
market's
Well, let's
doing
see
right
what the
now.
spirits have to say. Brian, what kind of card is that? Can you read
Five
it?
of crystals, which
Five of crystals.
Ironically.
Yes. What's our next one?
the hermit,
Oh, the
Hermit.
hermit.
and then 8
Ooh.
of feathers.
Well,
I-
the hermit for us, though, so what I pulled here, just because the audience can't see, are 3 cards representing past, present, and future,
Nice.
where we're going. So in the past, that makes sense. New possibilities, persistence, are what this card stands for. And crystals actually symbolize thought and logic, as well as like air symbols.
Oh,
So
yeah.
a deck of tarot has 52 cards with 4 different elements that are usually related to, signs and that kind of thing. And then 20 additional cards, like the card that you received, the fortune card, is what's called a major arcana, which are not subject to our will and decision.
Right.
So they're fixed.
Right.
Whereas a 5 of crystals or an 8 of feathers, as you see here, they're
What could
changeable.
be,
They're what could be
yeah.
based on our will and decisions.
Gotcha.
Whereas like the hermit here is one of the major arcana, or the fortune. Like you and Kristi, for instance, were decided.
Yeah.
Oh,
Your fate,
written
your
in the
your
stars.
flight was decided. It
Feels
wasn't.
that way.
Love it. Totally. Oh my God.
So what I see here for the market, it says contemplation and wisdom. And I've experienced some of this, at least, I work with about 200 agents in the Phoenix market, and I'm getting a lot of feedback about exhausted, apprehensive buyers. So when I think of, the hermit, I think about going internally. So I don't see that as a dip. I just see it as kind of a flat line as to where
Very
Steady.
interesting because our inventory is about 12,100 single family homes that are active right now. That was the same level in 2004, and it was a frenzy. But you're right, there's a hesitation.
And how many deals a month are we doing?
Haley and I are doing 4 to 11.
No,
a
but how
month.
many is a month? How many closings a month in Maricopa County? Would you-
So you would throw that out at me. I did not check
numbers.
that this morning.
Yeah.
I will say,
what kind of supply? Is it like do we have like
It's-
probably a 2-month
if
supply?
no one lists their home right now,
Yeah.
we have no homes in a month and a half. Not
Yeah,
one.
so that's probably we're
Not
probably doing
one.
8,000
Yeah,
transactions
yeah.
a month then.
I will say in
8 or 9.
in one zip code, anywhere from 13 to 26 listings are new per day, and there's well over that going under contract. So we're just not having enough inventory, but there's a hesitation. Buyers aren't running. They're not running to get a house right now. I think they're questioning where the market's going. It's interesting.
We have a big advantage here in Arizona in that I think we're the number 1 state for incoming net, people
Airbnb.
moving in.
Yeah.
And a lot of markets, I come from Chicago. I mean, you can't sell your house in Chicago because nobody's moving to
Right,
Illinois. Everyone's leaving Illinois. And we get, I think, 100,000 plus
Yep.
net gain every year or so,
Yep.
or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, ours is the valley that wants everybody's coming to the valley because I'm sorry, I love you, California, but you're falling off into the ocean, and
you're overpriced.
yes, and the weather and the tornadoes and just
Garbage on the street corners.
Arizona, Scottsdale, it's beautiful here, and there's a lot of homes to be had if
Well,
people start selling them, please.
Well, and there's a lot of great areas,
Yeah.
you know, like there's something for everyone. There's Gilbert, there's North Peoria, there's Cave Creek. If you still want to be in the city but have a small town feel, like we have it all here.
I was driving back from California and I saw signs that Buckeye, fastest growing community in America.
That's because it's still so affordable. But you know what? New schools, new shopping. There's a bunch of new stuff out there. Absolutely. I mean, Bill Gates is he has put into works what we are calling the smart freeway. It's that old racetrack that was out there as you went out to San Diego. That's gone, and it's the smart city. It's the smart freeway. Supposedly
why not?
from here to Vegas, we're gonna have kind of an autobahn.
And the cars don't rust.
No, they don't.
Sure.
So, what is our future of the market telling you? In those cards, Crystal?
So we're moving into an 8 of feathers, which is really finding courage and solutions to this hermit we saw here, where people are kind of slowing down, contemplating, people are exhausted. And what I see here is just some new creative solutions, whether that be people moving into new areas, moving into new builds, and continuing that growth, kind of like you saw ahead of time, going in that direction. And it looks like it's going to stay that way for about 8 months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I might have been somewhat correct.
Yes,
Well, so let it be written, so let it be done. We heard it here now.
Yeah.
And Crystal, you will be coming on our show.
I will.
I'm going to say at least once a month. I think we need a prediction once a month.
Yeah.
That'd be good.
And we'll try to change up the questions. But for now, I think, wouldn't you say it's safe to say a healthy market?
Yeah. You know, I wouldn't be too discouraged. You know, like I said, for years being in title, it was always a buyer's choice market. You know, if you wrote a contract, you decided title. But now there's so much competition under that 500 price point that it's kind of a free for all, which has been good and bad for us on the title side. You know, for our buyers agents, so much. Sometimes you can't lose a deal over title. When Haley mentioned multiple offers, there's so much competition that I think for the time being, you're going to see those buyers that have been writing and are exhausted. Maybe step away for a little while and regroup, but they're going to come back with maybe being more open to different areas, like you're talking about Buckeye, the fastest growing
different
city in the
areas,
world.
driving out farther, or maybe even some lending products.
Well, it's important you still fight for your title rep, folks. You realtors out there, it's important. If I just had 5 crystals in my business, my business would be 10x.
And we did record a podcast earlier in the week, and it was Titillating Title Tales, and we did get to cover how important it is to pick the right title people. Crystal is our Chicago title marketing rep. We are so thankful, and a sponsor of the show, Chicago Title. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
I want you to stay for a second because it just so happens that our Bitchin listing of the week happens to be one of Brian Culhane's, a house that I absolutely adore. I've done a few videos there. The house I like to call Freedom House. Tell us a little bit about 11052 East Feather Song Lane up there in the Upper Canyon of Silverleaf.
Yeah, I mean, we've done a lot to that house. I think we've brought it back to life. The analogy we've used is first of all, it's a 10,000 square foot home on 4.5 acres of Silverleaf's Upper Canyon.
Silverleaf's Upper Canyon.
And
people.
You've got complete valley views, 360 mountain views. I mean, it's just one of the most picturesque places. As a matter of fact, we've got a lot of photographers who always want to take pictures there. I think
HGTV might have used
HGTV. It's an old Tuscan, lots of stone. We actually call it Via de Pietra, which means the villas of stone. And basically, it's just a really fantastic home. And
the vibe there is amazing.
It is an amazing vibe. And what we've really treated it like is like restoring a Renaissance painting. I mean, almost stone by stone, everything from power washing to repainting to, refinishing everything we could, to new lighting.
And that is a testament to you as a luxury professional. You just don't do a little staging on a home like this, right? I mean, you guys are the ones that go in there and look at every nook and cranny and say, hey, how can we maximize the potential and help this house speak to the buyer?
Well, homes like that are like living creatures, and you have to sort of bring them back to life. And otherwise, you can just feel that stale, stagnant vibe. And, the vibe will attract your tribe.
Yeah. I mean, our job is to drive the traffic in.
Right.
but the house sells itself, right?
That's right.
So love it. What's the price point? I think we're just over $6 million.
Yeah,
on
six
that
and a
one?
half. But,
Yeah,
you know,
six
put a
and a
6
half.
in front of it. We'll look at it.
Yeah, and maybe if they don't, they should send it over anyway.
That's
or
right.
are
And
we-
Frank,
are we-
Frank's up there. I think every weekend holding it open. It's a great community. Even if you're just looking around, want to get to know neighborhoods. Silverleaf always has open houses up there, and there's a number of different properties you can go check out. And just being up there, will elevate your consciousness.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
People, you heard it here. Open houses at Silverleaf Upper Canyon. Go check it out. Thank you again for joining us. It is not what you go through. It is how you come through it. Thank you, Haley Schuster.
Oh, Kim
Yeah.
Doko? You said
Sorry.
I was like, I'm so caught off guard.
This is why it's pre-recorded.
Oh.
Thank you, my co-host.
Haley Schuster, the Blue Line agent.
Brian Culhane.
And Crystal Mulzet of Crystal's Ball.
Say that one more time.
Crystal Mulzet of Crystal's Ball.
Yes, her forecasting. What should we call that? Your forecasting ball, your crystal's ball that forecasts the future. Okay, so
Yes.
we'll say that. So say that one more time and we'll go.
Crystal's Ball that forecasts the future.
Yeah, so
Of real estate
say
in
your whole
Arizona.
say your whole thing again.
Okay. One more time.
Yes.
Crystal Mulzet of Crystal's Ball forecasting the
your
future.
market future.
Yeah.
That's right.
I want to say mine again.
Okay.
Yeah.
Brian Culhane, your success philosopher.
Success philosopher. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and honestly, folks, you've seen what I can do. You've seen that success I have, and Brian, I love you, man.
Oh, I love
you're
you.
you're kind of
Yeah.
my voice of reason, and I love bouncing the ideas off of you.
No, I love all you ladies, and you're all very essential to my business, and helping each other is what we do. So
I love it, and that's
Yeah.
part of this show, and that's why I do the show.
That's right.
Tenacious T, out.